Hello and welcome back to Wes Plays Pokemon Colosseum. This is the third time I've said this already, I think in this one sitting. But yes, welcome back, and today we are going to challenge the Colosseum. This episode is going to be a little bit different because I'm going to try to talk about the game instead of just talking about my regular life because I've done that so much already. And so here, first thing, Ruby's not coming with us, which kind of implies that either she's sitting in the audience and I'm going to get, tips from her if there is a shadow Pokemon, or it just doesn't show her entering the Colosseum, or there are no shadow Pokemon in this Colosseum, and that's why she doesn't need to enter. Already, we see ourselves up against Hawks. These guys actually are not random trainers. I believe they are a preset set of trainers that you fight in each Colosseum battle. Whoa, Barboach is missing some features there. He's kind of naked. That's interesting. I keep hearing things. I should move my one. Or oops, not that ear. So I actually. Oh, sorry, I lost my train of thought. I'm going crazy here. Oh, actually, this is a bad combination to have for my Quilava against. Anyway, this is actually a set number of trainers, and I don't actually remember their sets of Pokemon or anything like that, because I, again, don't play this game that often. However, Shadow Pokemon are allowed in this Colosseum, whereas in some other Colosseums they might, some other Colosseums in the game, they may not be allowed, and they may directly tell me you're not allowed to have Shadow Pokemon in this Colosseum. And that would be like, I believe Phoenix City's Colosseum, their Colosseum, does not like Shadow Pokemon. Oh, my Espeon has Synchronize? Oh yeah, that's right. Of course. Alright, so Quilava is in Hyper Mode, we gotta call him. And he's actually almost ready to be purified, which is pretty freaking nice. So yeah, Shadow Pokemon are allowed in this Colosseum, but Rui is not allowed in this Colosseum, which means it is very likely that we will not be catching Shadow Pokemon in this Colosseum. Whereas in Gale of Darkness, if you have your Shadow Monitor and machine and stuff like that, you go in the Colosseum, and of course you can catch Shadow Pokemon there, because Mirror B enters this Colosseum challenge every once in a while. I doubt we'll be seeing Mirror B do this Colosseum challenge, but I believe he does in one of the later Colosseums. I'm not entirely sure, but we shall see. I've actually had to play through that one quite a bit to get to him too. So it was kind of like a Scott Pilgrim montage where you gotta fight this one really huge guy, and then you gotta fight 50 people to get to him, and he punches you so hard you see the curvature of the earth. I hope I don't get copyright claimed because of saying that thing, but to be fair, I didn't quote it directly. I paraphrased. I don't believe that's against the rules, and I also did credit it. I did say it was from Scott Pilgrim, so I got that. And I've already failed about talking about the game. I mean, I did still kind of talk about the game, but whatever. Alright. Now, one of the things I really love about the Colosseum battles, the Colosseums in this game, they all technically do use the same battle music, up until a point. I think some Colosseums do have their own music for each battle. However, the standard music, they actually have different tracks for each of the people you battle. Like, you see this one. This one's a little bit more fast-paced. This is one of my favorites, too. I believe the semi-final was my favorite before. The semi-final battle music was my favorite before. This is pretty close, though. So we're up against a Psychic-type trainer, and yes, I hope you guys actually do see the patterns here with the first one being ground types. They had a Barboach and a Sandshrew. They were both ground types. Barboach was also a water type, but that's besides the point. Meditite and what was the other one? Natu are both psychic types as well. Natu's a flying type, so I can't really use Dig on him. And if I use Psychic on him, it won't be very effective. However, since Since Meditite is a fighting type as well, Confusion did normal damage on him. I'm sorry, her. Did normal damage on her. That's one of the nice things about this, This game kind of sets you up to where you won't be at a disadvantage just because of your, like, you won't be at a disadvantage if you choose to use your starters throughout the entire game. I believe it heals our Pokemon between each battle. That's really cool. However, we don't get to switch our Pokemon between battles, so if Quilava becomes ready to purify, we will have to keep switching out to another Pokemon, or just deal with using Quilava and let him gain a bunch of experience while he's out here. But that was also a quick battle. I got both of those battles done in actually 5 minutes. That's really cool. Excuse me, I'm sorry if you guys can hear me making funny noises through the microphone. It happens. Bandana Guy Vilch. Oh yeah, the semi-final music is still some of my favorite music. I love this. Now I believe that Electrike has a static ability, which means if you touch it with a physical attack, or if you hit it with a physical attack, it will paralyze you. So here's what I'm gonna do. Same thing with Cacnea. I think Cacnea has a bad effect if you hit it with a physical attack. So I'm going to use Confusion on Electrike. Bam! Gone. I still don't understand his 3D model. It's so strange because Electrike's 3D model, or Electrike's model in the game makes it look kind of different. Makes it look kind of like it has one of those Triceratops, what do you call it? It's the thing, or not a Triceratops. It makes it look like the one dinosaur, the one fin thing it has in the front of its head. But in some cases, it just looks kind of like a dog, more like a dog than a dinosaur. And I don't know what to make of that. Okay, now I really can use Dig against this Vulpix. That is great. And I don't think Quilava's in Hyper Mode. Oh, by the way, another thing, if your Shadow Pokemon are in Hyper Mode, they will be less likely to follow your directions if you tell them to use a regular attack. They'll sometimes try to use their items or turn on you and try to strike you, or they will simply turn away and refuse to do it. Sometimes they'll even become confused. Alright, let's see if I actually do end up getting this Dig off on the Vulpix, or if it just dies from one. Nope. Nope. Didn't need it. Yeah, actually Swift would be a nice move. I love how it has the contest effects even though there aren't contests in this game. Other games don't consider that. Like other games, even if they're in the same generation as the games that do have them, they don't even consider that. They don't even consider that you might be trading over to another game where they might have contests. And that's actually one of the biggest hints that this is slightly closer to the main series games than any of the other side series like Mystery Dungeon and Conquest, because it's like that. You'll get to see contest types, or you'll get to see the contest effects of the moves as well as the battle effects. And if there are contests in this game, I'd really like to know about that, because that's something that I've never seen yet. If you can beat me, Master Mirror B. Whoops. Oh, that's right. It skips through the text if you don't read it fast enough. Ooh, already starting out with some dragon types. And I'm feeling nostalgic with this finale music. Fantastic. Alright. I know what we're gonna do. The nice thing about Swift is if I want to take out, or if I want to lower a Shadow Pokemon's health just a small amount, and it doesn't knock them out, and doesn't really do too much power, but it also attacks both sides of the field. Or it attacks, well, not both sides of the field. It attacks both Pokemon at the same time. Ooh, this is interesting. Magnemite. See, I used to always think Magnemites had the levitate ability, and I think in some cases they can, but I think that's one of its hidden abilities or something. Or not a hidden ability, but its secondary ability. However, I do have Flame Wheel, so I can still wreck. The nice thing about XD is is a nice and not such a good thing. But it kind of breaks the shadow Pokemon system, whereas in this game, I think the shadow moves are neutral against each other and against normal or against regular Pokemon. However, in XD, they are not very effective against shadow Pokemon, and they are super effective against every other Pokemon. It kind of makes the battles go faster. It kind of makes the entire game go faster, especially if you want to use all shadow Pokemon. It doesn't it doesn't penalize you for that, but it does kind of break the game in its own small way. Now, see, I think Delibird is part Ice type. I could be wrong. It is! Called it! Even though I should already know that, because it's a second generation Pokemon, and I've been in the game since Generation 1. Whoa. That's an odd amount of experience to give out, Delibird. You're some kind of strong. Love broken English in games. Who doesn't? And I have completed the challenge, and Rui is still waiting there for me. How nice is that? You know, she asked me to be her escort, and then she actually lets me go through these battles while she's just out here waiting. Wow. And that's the cool thing. As soon as you finish the challenge, you get not only money, but a TM as well, if you wish to pick that up. And I will actually now switch Mischievous with Quilava, because Quilava is probably ready to be purified. Or almost ready to be purified, at least. And I will go see if I can find this recruiter type guy. Once again, most likely on a bridge. There we go. Mirror B, the town's true mover and shaker, wishes you to have a gorgeous gift. Yeah. I'm gonna get another shadow Pokemon for free this time. Or not. Yeah, I'll spoil things in the game, I don't care. And here it is. There's one of the files that you can read about the shadow Pokemon. And I think I'll actually read it on this, since this is going to be the episode where I actually do some real LP stuff. And no way to back out of this battle, and no way to prepare for it either. If you were on your way to the Pokemon Center, the hotel, or any other place, and you, I don't know, I don't think you can get into a fight before then. But, you know, if you were unprepared or had the wrong team, or just had a team of just one because you were planning on going straight to Agate Village or whatever, which you don't know about yet, you basically just face this guy, and you kind of just have to grin and bear it. This is awesome. He has a Shadow Yanma. So I'm not going to get it for free. However, I do get it pretty easily, I believe. Yay! That should be enough to catch it. Make it a little difficult. Wow, I can't believe it even tried to do that. Okay, so there are two things I could do here. I could call Mischievous, or I could exploit the critical hit ratio and kill that Pineco. Or even take a shot at Yanma and see if I can take down its health a lot. However, in this case, I'm just going to call it, and then I'm going to try to catch the Yanma. I will actually be so shocked if this actually catches it on the first try. That would be cool. Wow. So the ritual is working so far. Every time I keep doing it, every time I keep just pressing B, it does it. That's kind of nice when things just work smoothly. Maybe it's the Let's Play charm for me, and not the Let's Play curse. Although I'm sure I'll find plenty of people who beg to differ. Since Pineco's using Bite, I'm actually going to try not to bother it very much, because I don't want its attack to actually succeed and just completely destroy me. I've been wrecked by Bite so many times. It surprises me. The problem is, I can never get it to work myself, because the other Pokemon is always too strong. Even in the beginning of some games, like when you have a C-Dot and you want your C-Dot to use Bite, you know, of course Pineco's storing energy. You're gonna be storing energy for a long time there, Pineco. Actually, I probably should have attacked the Pineco twice by now. Yeah, I kind of made a stupid move. He's going to release energy on this turn, actually. And probably actually completely knock out one of my Pokemon. Because it doubles the power that it absorbs. Ha! Wow. Okay, so I think I've come to the decision that I want some of these future episodes, at least until I start live streaming stuff, which won't happen until, I believe, sometime after episode 4. So I got like 3 more weeks. But I think I might just start making these episodes 20 minutes or so, to make them, or almost 20 minutes, or a little bit over 20 minutes, to kind of make it, to kind of stuff more of the story and more battles into it. It's useless. I don't stand a chance of winning. Now hold on. You're the one who brought him here. So they both just take off. And here's Duking. Oh, you're safe. I heard you entered this building. Had me worried. Didn't you ask me to come here? This is where they were giving the Shadow Pokemon to the winners of the Battle Challenge. Shadow Pokemon? Those ferocious Pokemon that even attack people? Yes, they're giving away Shadow Pokemon to thugs for some reason. It doesn't look good. Urgh. They were using the Colosseum to do that. Big lady, my Papa's Pokemon was taken away by Mirror B as a prisoner. He did what? Mirror B used a dirty move like that? It's Papa's Plusle. I was so worried that they might be mean to it. It's humiliating, but with Plusle in their filthy hands, my own hands are tied. Okay, a thing I actually learned watching Let's Players, we'll wait until this dialogue's over. But we're here now. We'll get Plusle back for you, right, Wes? Yes, we will. And I'll explain why in just a second. It's dangerous in this building. You've got to get everyone out to safety. Thanks for everything. I have to depend on you. I have no choice. Oh, yeah, okay. It's nice to know that, you have no choice, and that's why you depend on us. You're not just a jerk. Be careful always. Mirror B might look like a clown, but his battling is all business. I'm sure at Duking. I'm absolutely sure you've battled Mirror B, and you totally know that. So, the thing about Duking's Plusle, if we do get it later on in the game, which I'm fairly certain we will, I think it actually might be in Mirror B's possession. This Plusle, if we catch it, will actually be, we'll actually have the OT of Duking, which basically means we get bonus experience for training it, because it's not our Pokemon. So it'll actually be really over-leveled by the end of the game. I think mine ended up being like level 75 by the time I ended the game. Ian File H is written on the file cover. Let's read it. Hyper Mode. Shadow Pokemon, perhaps because of their own overwhelming power, may behave abnormally at times. They may engage in such behavior as ignoring orders, even turning on their own trainers in battle. This I have named Hyper Mode. I believe I explained this earlier in the episode too. On the plus side, Hyper Mode raises the critical ratio of Shadow Rush. However, Hyper Mode also prevents the use of items on the Pokemon. Hyper Mode is easily dispelled. Simply call the Pokemon by name. However, this method also has a major drawback. Calling the Shadow Pokemon's name causes the closed door of its heart to loosen and even open. Further research is urgently needed. Shadow Pokemon Lab Chief Ian. So Ian is the chief of the Shadow Pokemon Lab. We will battle him later, and we will actually see a lot of his dealings and shady business and stuff like that. He's a researcher, and just like that. I thought somebody was going to ambush us from the door. That's why I kind of hesitated to go in, because I'm like, I want to finish what I'm saying before somebody else comes in here. So this actually starts the giant gauntlet of Mirror B's minions, which I actually kind of wish I did more video editing and stuff like that, because if I did, I would be able to just basically, I'd be able to speedrun this and kind of do like a montage over it, or a time lapse or something like that. Instead, I'm actually going to have to like just grin and battle all of them, which actually isn't that hard. They're not really strong trainers, at least to get to the top. When you get into the caves, it gets a little bit more interesting because they have more Shadow Pokemon there, and they're actually kind of stronger there. And if I recall correctly, this is where I left off when I was live streaming the game. And yes, I that earlier file that I deleted in episode 1, way back in episode 1 now, was actually the file that I did right before this, and it was a live streaming file. And I think, like I said before, I'm going to enjoy just doing live streams every once in a while. It's funny because the audience I had, they've never come back. They've never subscribed to me. They've never come and chat with me again. They just kind of left and didn't bother coming back. Okay, so I think at this point I should actually switch out my Espeon with my Umbreon. However, I'm running low on time once more. This episode will be the first that's over 20 minutes, finally. I will have to take more time to record more, maybe. Thankfully, I am at a checkpoint of sorts here, so when I pick up recording again, I'll have this huge gauntlet of minions to go through, including this person that I skipped over at this elevator door here. This elevator is a really nice place. It takes you to the under. It's a really great place. But until then, I will see you guys later. Thank you for watching. And this has been X-Snagger Wes, and yeah, whatever. Still not good at sign-offs. See you guys later.